Hey everybody, back at the 2023 NFL League meetings. Larry McCarren along with Packers President Mark Murphy. Mark, thanks for your time. And what do you think the headline act or acts are going to be coming out of this thing?
I think it continues to be focused on health and safety. A lot of good discussions. The split flow block, we had a long discussion on that. Long story short, we ended up tabling it, but it was a really good discussion because it points out some of the issues you deal with. The concern is when he's able to block low, it's dangerous to the defensive end that's coming upfield. Flip side of that is, it's usually a smaller, maybe a tight end, sometimes a wide receiver. If you force him to hit the defensive end high, you end up, sometimes you get concussions, and so it's a balancing act, but decided to have a little more study on it.
Any rule changes of note that you care to mention?
You know that there's automatic review on turnovers. The proposal was when there's a failed fourth down play, right now that's not considered a turnover, although it's a turnover on downs. So now those plays will be reviewed automatically. And one of the concerns you always have with some of the proposals, particularly as it relates to replay, is it going to lengthen the game? And we know the league likes to be right around 3 hours, and you get much longer, and it feel like people aren't as interested in watching. So something like that, it's usually there's a timeout afterwards. You can review it during the timeout. So that was something that I think made sense, and it passed fairly easily.
Now, something that was getting a lot of play right after the season, well, actually a couple things. The hip drop tackle, which I never heard of, and the quarterback scrum where they push the quarterback from behind out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Those didn't get brought up at all in this meeting,
No,
huh?
Well, not in this, there wasn't voted on, but there was a lot of discussion. The hip drop tackle, it's really hard for defensive players. I don't think it's being taught. It looks to me like the situation, you're trying to grab anything you can. Sometimes you do, though. You can see that when the players swing their legs up, it causes some injuries. So on that one, we're just going to continue to study it. And quarterback push play, we looked at earlier in the season. I think the Eagles, they used it probably more than anybody. And I think we'll continue to study it. And you know this, Larry, the league's a copycat league. And when a team has that kind of success on a play, you'll see others pick it up. But it puts the quarterback at risk. And that'll be the other issue to watch is, are there a lot of injuries from it? Yeah, it's, you line up offensive linemen in the backfield and push it forward.
Well, let's face it, business for the NFL is good, real good as a matter of fact. What do you think the biggest challenge is that faces the league?
I think it's the concerns about the health and safety of the game, particularly as it relates to concussions. And the concussions were up this year, which is a concern. So I think continuing to look at, what kind of things can we do to take the head out of the game, and and so that, and well, that was the other rule, the use of the helmet rule. We had it, but there was language in it that said lower your body or lowering your head and hitting. They took lowering your head out. So now anytime there's a helmet-to-helmet hit, there'll be a penalty. I think it'll be easier for both the officials to call it, and then more so after the fact to fine players for that. And what you really don't want is players using the helmet as a weapon.
Closer to home, are you looking forward to young Jordan Love, getting his shot?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You look at it, the parallels with Aaron putting the 3 years in and getting ready to take over as a starter 15 years ago. Yeah, I've been really impressed just watching Jordan, the way he goes about his business, and I think it's credit to him, obviously, but I think our coaches as well. You've seen a lot of progress over the 3 years, I think particularly, and it was a short sample, but the way he played in the Philadelphia game was impressive. And I think we're all excited to see how he's going to play this year.
Mark, how do you expect the rest of the team to handle the change at the game's most important position?
Yeah, obviously, 15 years as a starter, 18 as obviously one of the greatest players in the history of the Packers. So it's a major change, but I think our players are excited. The majority of our players are close to Jordan. They like him and they want him to have success, and they've seen that it's a rare thing in our league for somebody to be a backup for 3 years, especially when you're a first-round draft pick.
Thank you, Mark. And that's it from the 2023 NFL League meeting. Until next time, take care.